I had a different tree before I even got to here. So it looked completely different before I respect everything. I literally took every single node. I said fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and I took them
Yeah,
all
yeah.
back, and I went all the way back to here, like this node right here. And I
Damn.
had one, and I went back, I was a level like 72, and but I had no passives. And so I went back to the beginning,
You said
and I
fuck
thought
it all.
about all of what I needed to do. And so that's when I started respecking and taking nodes out of damage because I didn't need the damage. I needed shield. I needed health. And it's cheaper to essentially respec your tree to go for the energy shield nodes and then level up a couple times and then come back over here, get mind over
But
matter.
hold on, Paul, hold on.
Okay. I know
All
I'm going
damage.
pretty fast. I
No,
know
no,
I'm
no.
going
You're
pretty
good.
fast.
You're good. You're good. But I'm just like all damage is taken from mana. What is it? Hover over it.
Yes.
From mana
All
before
damage,
life. 50% less mana cost.
less mana recovery. Yeah.
And that's why you said the helmet that you gave me was like, dude, with that
It's
helmet.
important. You're cheating
Yes.
essentially.
Yeah.
You're cheating. You get a cheat, and not only that, but I didn't do this because I was lazy. But if I would have come up here and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nodes into this, it gives me a 15 increased mana recovery rate. So not only is the helmet cheating,
No.
but if you get this though, Void, you basically negate a good solid maybe like I think 30 something percent of what this is.
Not only
So
that, but there's percentage that you gain. Not only the 15%, but it's like there's 3% before the 15%.
Yeah,
Back there. I
yes.
mean,
Yeah.
right?
So yes, you're right. You're well, no. Actually, that's regen. Now that's the very tricky, and I want you to understand the difference because
No, yeah,
recovery
it's good.
is different from regen. Um,
What?
recovery
Okay.
means like how quickly the regen actually recovers. It's kind of hard. You might have to watch a video explaining it, but recovery is faster than regeneration. Your
Okay.
regeneration is how many points you regenerate. Your recovery is the percentage of how many points actually get recovered. So if you are recovering 15 increased amount of 100, then you're getting I would say 115 mana per second instead of 100. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like your regeneration percentage is a flat number, and the recovery rate is actually the percentage in which you can actually see this by hitting C and looking at your mana total mana recovery per second.
Okay.
My total mana recovery per second is 148.7.
Okay. Yeah.
And that changes based upon whether your
But
mana regen and mana recovery,
But-
depending on what these two numbers are.
It looks like the second from regeneration. So like
It's weird. I'm not doing a justice to explain
no,
this,
no,
to be
no,
honest with
no.
you.
No, it's fine.
But-
It's fine. It's
But
like
to be fair, it like all I need you to know is that recovery is faster and better. And this is also, I've looked across the entire tree. This is the only node in the entire tree that has mana recovery. So, and we are the
No
closest
shit.
to it. Yes, yeah. So this is where it's like it. I think if you're a witch or you're a sorceress and you're passing this up and you're using this build, you're fucking retarded. Like you're fucking retarded, dude. Because like
straight up.
I don't know because like yes, I'm retarded right now for not doing it. But like to be fair, I don't need it. I have so much other regeneration from
Plus,
other shit.
it's okay to call yourself retarded. It's like
It's fine.
But
Yeah.
I know I'm retarded, and I'm trying to unretard myself. But I will
Yeah.
figure it out along the way. Right?
So I'm all over the place, kind of like I have damage.
Dude, I
close to
heard
my
that
cold.
right up there was the tree, right there.
This is like, yeah, you want to get stuff up here a lot because like Maybe for you, not so much. I don't know because like you're a witch. I think you're probably gonna want to get over here, where it's like you get this stuff, where you get minions deal increased damage. Like you're gonna want to, you want to get to here as quickly as possible. So to be fair, you're gonna want to come like up here somewhere and save this for later once you have enough of your mana regeneration. And then once you get here, you'll start kind of withering away at this
Yeah,
and
yeah,
getting your damage increase on the minions. And then eventually
yeah.
you'll get this and come all the way over here and then think about getting things in this. And then eventually you want Eldritch Battery. You want this before you take this. But the thing
Oh,
is that if you take Eldritch Battery and you don't have a point to put into Mind Over Matter, you'll fuck yourself. Because if you don't have the shield on your health and you don't have this to convert all of the damage into your mana,
yeah.
you'll fuck yourself. Because this converts your mana shield into
Oh.
extra mana.
It's kind of
So
like one of the one things where it's like this will leech your life, and like instead of using mana, but you have to have something to offset that.
Yes, because at that point it's like, yes, you're converting all of your mana shield into, I mean, you're converting all of your energy shield into mana, but at a great cost. So you have to make it worth it. You have to make it so it's like, okay, well now that my if my energy shield is going to be my mana, then I have to start putting points into energy shield. And the reason why you do this is because not only does it give you extra mana to cast abilities just non fucking stop. Like how much mana do you have? You probably only have like 500 mana right now.
If
Like I have 2,150. Granted, it's because I'm a higher level than you, and I have like all of these points put into intelligence. But like, the more mana you have, the better, because you can just curse everything, and then you can regenerate it all back, and then just keep spreading all of your contagion and all of your curses and all of your minions throughout the battlefield, and it's beautiful. It's just amazing. Yeah.
it's just like you have unlimited like, and see, you know what? I used to
But
think that like I used to think that like the chaos shit sucked. I'd be like,
no,
oh
no, bro.
god. I was
Let me
like,
show you
oh
what
my
I'm
god, it
actually working
sucks
towards
so
right now.
hard. But
So
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
once once you get like all of that accomplished, once you're like level 70 and you get like all of this done, because you'll probably have a better efficient way of actually doing this than I did, to be
Well,
fair. I could
hopefully, I
have,
mean, like you're showing me some tricks, like, hey, I
yeah.
jacked this up, like, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. But like once you get all of this shit, once you get the Eldritch Battery and the Mind Over Matter combo, and you have it working, once you have that up and off the ground, uh, you'll come over here. Maybe this is just inspiration for possible future builds for late
Okay.
game. You'll come over here and possibly get this. This is what I think I might do. Chaos Inoculation sets your maximum life point to 1, but you're immune to chaos damage. Now, the reason why this is
Whoa.
smart for people like us, because you're a witch and I'm a sorceress, we don't have a health pool to begin with. Like, what do we give a fuck if all of our health just is nothing? Like, we could give up our
Yeah.
health as long as we have a a bucket load of mana and a huge fucking spirit shield. We have an Eldritch Battery and the Mind Over Matter combo. That's all that matters. We have a health pool. That's
Yeah, we don't
our
give a
mana
shit.
is our health pool.
We don't give a
And
shit.
so at that point, yeah, we don't give a fuck. So we don't care about setting our life point to 0, trading that off for immunity to chaos damage. Bro, do you know how many times that I've gotten one shot to AoE shit from chaos damage because it's chaos? Like what the
It's
it's
literal
just dumb.
chaos, bro.
Because it's just chaos damage. Because chaos damage, like AoE chaos damage in the late game, can and will one shot you. So having this is a huge like, and not only that, you could just take this off. you could just respec it. If you don't want it later, if it becomes like a bad thing for you, like you just
You just
respec. You just take this off
well,
and
you
you
just
put it somewhere
just
else.
remove it, and then it costs you like
exactly.
325 gold, and like
Yeah, I
boom,
mean,
done.
when you're at level 90, it probably is going to cost you like 20k to respec that one point. But it doesn't
Oh,
matter. You because
really?
20k is like
Jesus.
nothing. It's nothing. Dude, I
To
have
beat I guess to beat a boss. To beat a boss, it's like kind of like
look how much
when
money
like
is
when
in my gold purse right now.
oh shit, yeah.
711,000.
But
Like
like
it's nothing. You're not going to care at a certain point.
when I was trying to beat that fucking goddamn fucking wolf, bro. Like I was
That yeah.
trying everything on my sorceress. Like I was like, okay, I think he's using lightning. Maybe he's using a cold. Maybe I don't know. We should just go with fire. And
Yeah.
like, dude, I beat my ass. I beat my head up against a fucking wall trying to beat that
Do you
dude.
see this right here? Like how all of my resistances are at like 70.
Yeah.
So like
76.
the max
Pretty much
cap,
76.
Yeah.
114%.
114%.
114%, pretty much.
You, excuse me. You want to get these as high as possible because at a certain point, this is more important than Jesus. I keep burping or hiccuping. This is more important to you in the late game than anything else. So at a certain point, you're gonna want to start getting clothes that have like the resistances, like the fucking fire resistance, cold resistance, and all that stuff. Because if you don't, then you're just gonna get one shot by everything.
Yeah,
and
bro. So let me show you. What So I bought some stuff. I don't know if you're gonna be disappointed in me. Let's see. No, I don't think you would be disappointed because it's like, I mean, they seemed like pretty badass pieces of gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that like you can be sucked in, and you gotta be careful because it's like you gotta look for things where you know that this is gonna be good for your build, or it's like you know that you want intelligence and chaos resistance, or like frost resistance on boots. So you kind of gotta like mix and match shit and figure out like what do you want to have on certain pieces of armor to
Yeah.
build up your resistances against certain things. And like this is the one part of the game that I feel like most people don't like, and it's a fair critique, and I think they've made it harder in this one to do than
No,
any other one.
you know
I mean,
what?
Than the other one.
I
But it is a lot of fun. I
I
think that
don't-
once you get to the late game and you start doing it,
I don't
that's
feel-
all you do.
I don't feel like I personally, right? I don't think that they have like they've messed up this by doing that, because what it allows players to do is it allows players to go in a way like I have unlimited options. So now I spend time rather than like I'm not even just playing the game. I'm literally like Dungeons and Dragons kind of shit where you go.
Yeah, no, it does kind of get that way.
I'm like I see all these emeralds and I'm like, how can I piece all of these together to make a sick build? The only critique that I would have is the fact that, and I understand that it would be very difficult for them to actually do this, but like that there are limitations on certain emeralds. It's like, oh, this can't go here, this can't go there, and I'm like, well, shit, just fucking tell me where to fucking put the goddamn thing. Then.
So that's the beauty of this game is that like, you know, so there are some things that they're straight up just not gonna let you do because it's OP as fuck. Like there are a couple cold support spell gems that they don't let you put on cold spells because
It would
if you
be
did, it would break the game, bro. Like
yeah,
it would just
yeah, dude.
everybody would just go that build and
Yeah.
everybody would just do that same thing. And I get it. Like I understand why they don't let you do
But you
certain
know
things.
what?
But like
There should be some other reason why you can't do it. It's not just like you can't do it because we just say you can't do it. If the game was to come out and I was like the director of the the game, I go, you guys need to come up with another reason why these fools can't put that gem on that shit. It can't just be like we
they
just
did
don't
it.
allow it. Sorry.
They did that in Path of Exile 1. There was actually only a handful of gems in which you could not like socket to each other. I think it was like literally like two or three of them.
Yeah.
And it got to a point in Path of Exile 1 where that was a huge problem and people would like I'll admit it was very cool and fun and experimental and like everybody had a different way of doing things, but it got to a point where everybody really just had the same variation of like one build, and it would be like you would use three different variations of like the same thing where it was like a meta build but just slightly different,
Yeah.
and it got boring. Like to be frank, like it didn't allow for fair gameplay because everybody really did just go those same builds.
Yeah.
Um, but I think so. Like to your point, this has been like the most. I think it's been some of the most balanced that they've had the game so far. They need to work on the late game because where I'm at right now, it's very fucking wonky. Like you can get stuck, and like when you get on maps, it'll get to a point where like if you die, you lose that map and you can't go back into it. So you have to farm for another one, and if you die on that one, you're just like super fucked. It gets really repetitive, dude. And it's like it gets to a point where I just wish that they would make the game a little bit more engaging and
Yeah.
not so fucked because